Coming up on Look Today, well, we've got more on the sports tourism initiatives in our Tri-North counties. I've got details. Plus, students from different youth camps in our region visit SPAC for a matinee ballet performance. We were there. And Hudson Headwaters Health Network announces new executive leadership positions. I've got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. On tonight's program, I sit down with Chuck Viscondian. He's president of the Rockman Record Club and he's here to talk about the next Rockman series. It's going to feature Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. I also sit down with Susan Wagner. Now she's a president of Equine Advocates and we're joined by Cornelia Guest. She's an actress and owner of Artemis Farm Rescue and they're here to talk about rescuing horses. Very interesting interview. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, we've got updates on the sports tourism initiative in our Tri-North counties. Well, the first ever Queen of the Lakes Pro-Am volleyball tournament will take place at $1 Million Beach and Charles R. Wood Commons in Lake George this Friday through Sunday. Now, there will be tournaments for amateurs and professionals. We spoke to Christine Hannafin about this.
The volleyball tournament coming this weekend is part of a 18-stop Pro-Am beach volleyball tour. It is called the EVP Queen of the Lakes. We are super excited to have them coming this weekend. They'll be coming in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have about 95 teams coming from all over the country. Actually, we have them coming in from Florida, California, the Midwest, so basically all over the place. And we also have some teams coming down from Canada, so we kind of have a little bit of an international flair as well.
Sorry that video is dark. Just as soon as she started talking, the sun came out right behind her. All right, in other news, well, students from different youth camps visited SPAC today for a matinee performance of the New York City Ballet. Well, the performance featured jeu de cartes, which means card game in French. The ballet features dancers in colorful costumes, and there are also elements of jazz in the choreography. Well, we were at SPAC today and we spoke to Ken Whiteman. He's director of YMCA Camp Iroquois.
Something that a lot of them may never get to see. They've learned a lot. We actually saw as we were walking through the sports part where the basketball was invented at the YMCA, so they all got a little bit of history of the YMCA and the ballet all mixed to one.
That's great. It's wonderful to expose the kids to ballet at that age. All right, switching from news to weather. Well, today saw cooler temperatures and expect, guess what? Rain in the coming days. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponsler. Here's your first look weather forecast. Let's start with the national map. We have high pressure in much of the southeast, parts of the mid-Atlantic as well. What's left a tropical depression for is going to make its way into portions of the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to track its way towards southeast Texas by midweek next week. Cold front boundary make its way from the southern plains, basically its way through parts of the Midwest. Low pressure near Michigan, near Detroit, Michigan more specifically, and then there's that stationary front boundary. Let's look at look at that. With this front boundary, it's going to provide an increased chance of more showers and thunderstorms across the Capital District of New York. Low temperatures will be in the upper 50s to lower 60s, 61 in Greenwich, 60 in Fort Edward. Sioux Falls for the overnight low, about 60 degrees, 59 in Bolton. Let's take a look at our overnight forecast. A few scattered storms could see at least a tenth to a quarter inch of rain, 60 our overnight low, as I mentioned. For Friday, we'll see more storms likely along that stationary front boundary. It's not going anywhere, upper 60s for high temperatures. Our out the door forecast we'll see mainly in the lower 60s with more scattered storms, so the umbrella will be necessary as you make your way to work or maybe some outdoor activities you got planned for the weekend. You're going to need the umbrella. 40% chance of storms on Saturday, 79 the afternoon high. So at least temperatures are responding back to average. 30 to 40% chance of storms Sunday through Tuesday. Low temps in the lower 60s, mid 80s for highs. Basically, we should see this time of year. So that's a look at the first look weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponsler. Now I'll send it back to you, Jesse.
God, this weather's tricky. All right, back to the news. Well, Hudson Headwaters Health Network has announced the appointment of two key people in executive roles. Dr. John Sawyer has been named Chief Medical Officer, and Chris Tournier has been named Executive Vice President of Finance. Well, Dr. Tucker Slingerland was recently appointed CEO, and we spoke to him about all this.
John was our founder and also CEO for many, many decades. So this is a big transition for us. But I've worked closely with John for almost 10 years, and certainly have learned a lot along the way. And we're excited about the change.
Very unique organization. Up next, I sit down with Chuck Visconian. He's president, Rockman Record Club, and he's here to talk about the next Rockman series, and it's going to feature Fleetwood Mac's Rumors. What an album. Plus, I also sit down with Susan Wagner. Now, she's the president of Equine Advocates. We're joined by Cornelia Guest. She's an actress, well-known actress, and owner of Artemis Farm Rescue. And they're here to talk about rescuing horses. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple of lookouts. First, my wife and I were over at SPAC last night. Oh, the ballets were just wonderful. A couple of viewers stopped me. People always talk about the interviews. They seem to like the interviews. But at the end of the program, we're walking out last night. This woman stops us, Marsha Frazier. And she says, I just was watching you and your wife jumping up and down and yelling. And it was really true. I think we were screaming bravo and all this other stuff. And she mentioned that she lives in Glens Falls and that she watches us a lot. Actually, is a neighbor of ours. So I want to give Marsha a look at. And thank you for watching, Marsha. And thank you for watching us. Make sure we stay in line there when we're screaming and yelling there at the ballet. All right, the other one is the Saratoga Fair. We're getting a tremendous response to tickets. So I've got three more winners for today. Todd Rosenberg, Steph Williams, and David Kennedy. Now, each of you can take up to 4 tickets to Saratoga Fair. You can pick them up here at our Saratoga studios between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. any weekday. Now, here's how you can enter. Go to Facebook, like and share our post, and we'll capture your name, and that makes you eligible to win up to 4 tickets. It's random. We just pick it out, and we'll announce them the next day. Tonight on Look TV, it's sold. That's our call-in auction program, great estate jewelry and coins. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.